Soup and chicken, lemons. What does that even mean? What is the best dessert? It is a brownie cooked with the freaking superstar and there's all kinds of chicken. Nope, not chicken. That doesn't make no sense. Chocolate. That's the word with the chicken noise that I meant to say. Hi. Hey, howdy, everybody. My name is Sharon Shoujo, and welcome to episode number 33 of Katawa Shoujo. I'm finally getting to record a second episode in one day. Oh my god. It's like I actually try to do stuff sometimes, and then it just doesn't work. Anyway, episode 33. In the last episode, we went and did stuff. We didn't do a whole lot. I mean, we did a lot of little things, but like nothing really of importance. RIN told us that we don't smile, though. Well, I smile all the time. Look at this. You can't look at it because I don't have a face cam, but look at smiling right now. It's really stupid. I don't know why I do it like this, but I try to use my lips. But I'm not gonna do it because it hurts to do. It doesn't hurt to do. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway. So, Hisao's all like, don't I smile? Don't I smile? What? Okay, and then he tried to smile, and then it looked obviously fake. As it always is. Anyway, having exhausted the books that Kenji lent me in a few nights, I go back to the library, deeming it safer alternative than forgetting my reading fix. I return the books he'd stolen while I'm at it to Yuko's delight. I don't tell her where I got them, though. Wow, you sure read a lot, don't you? Yes, you do. With your face. Oh my goodness, it has been so long. Mr. Shannon, sir, says I use his voice. Oh my goodness. Oh. I'm sorry, that's horrible. Why did I make those noises? Because it's kind of funny to me. I don't know why, though. Moving on. Okay. Yeah, I guess I do. I mean, I do. Even, I think it's weird. I might have a reading problem. Maybe I'm a junkie. No, I did not mean it that way. It is not weird at all, and being addicted to reading is a lot better than being addicted to the hardcore methamphetamines. I know from personal experience. Don't read too deeply into that. Yeah, I know, it was a joke. I smile at her reassuringly and drop the books on the counter so Yuko can check them out. I feel tired, so I sit down in the vacant chair in front of her desk. While Yuko goes through the modest pile of reading material I found, I let my gaze wander around the library. The library. Welcome to the library. At the tables, a pair of girls is chatting in a hushed tones rather than working on their homework. Whoops, kid ass. Do your fucking work. Ow, fuck. Ow, that hurt. Ow. My hand. The short-haired one notices me looking in the direction and waves at me. When I raise my hand back, they glance at each other and giggle in unison. Where was people like that when I was in high school? I happen to look in someone's direction, they go like, motherfucker. And I'm like, okay, hey, Jesus, alright. Damn. It's not that serious. And then I make a goofy-looking face at them, and then I'm like, see, it's not that serious, and then they get up and punch me in the head. I'm not sure how I should feel about that, so I decided it's a good thing. The one who waved me at me had a horrible case of epilepsy. Damn, has a horrible case of epilepsy. I saw her having an attack a few days ago. It was one of the most disturbing and scary things I've seen in a long time. I would suspect so. Yet, there she is, happily chirping away about whatever as if she doesn't have a care in the world. You know, this school is really something else. Yuko raises her eyes from the book she was going through, slightly startled. She adjusts her glasses and puts on a nervous, confused smile. What do you mean with your face? I don't really know how to explain it. It's just everyone's so active, or how should I put it? It's not just the festival thing. I think even though I haven't been here that long, but it's everything. People talk more, work harder, and are just or more than in any school than I've been before. I'm struggling for words, but it feels like I'm speaking honestly. School feels so alive. It is refreshing, like a fresca. I can't even remember what a fresca is. It's a soda of some kind. I don't know what kind, though. Is it like a lemon lime citrusy kind of thing? Like a Sprite or 7-Up? Or is it an orange soda? I can't fucking remember. I'm gonna find out by the end of this. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Sure, there were some people like this in my old school, but not as many, and it feels more intense somehow. Also, Fresco's not even that good. Whatever. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember not caring about it that much. I think if I had to pin it down to one thing, the students are really appreciative of going to school. I don't think that is a bad thing. Well, yeah, me neither. Suddenly I realized that I've been babbling my thoughts to Yuko out of the blue. She's a bit of a jumpy person, so I fear I might have made a bad impression. She's looking at me with what I hope is curiosity rather than horror, so I figure she's doing alright. Sorry for suddenly talking about weird stuff like this. I didn't mean to trouble you. Oh no, it is not troubling. I am happy to listen if you feel like talking. I have ears, might as well do something with them. Yes, it makes me feel a little bit reliable too, like a real adulty person. Yuko smiles sweetly and a bit ironically at that. I respond with a thankful smile of my own. Again, she's like a year older than you, 2 years tops. She's I don't know what I was going for. I don't even know how that's relevant. I'm just saying words at this point. As she pushes the neat stack of books across the counter, I stand up and gather them in my arms. Here you are. Thank you. Okay, I guess we will be meeting each other again. Please come here anytime, except for the times that is not open, because that would be awkward for you and your face. Yuko's kindness is heartwarming. You can count on it. See you later. A lot of fucking transitions in this. The morning of the track meet greets me with a brilliant sunshine from a crystal blue sky. While I leisurely stroll through the track, I decide that this is a good sign of what I'm not sure. This event isn't as exciting for me as it seems to be for a large portion of the student body. I'm even less interested in watching sports than I am in participating, but cheering for Emmy is a good cause, I think, right? Maybe. I'm not expecting this to be any sort of amazing and spectacular experience, but it can't hurt. I'd probably be spending the time reading while cooped up in my room otherwise. When I approach the bleachers, I spot RIN emerging from the crowd right before she spots me. He came. Of course, I said I would, didn't I? It doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow through, though. A lot of people say things and don't mean them. Fuck those people. Well, I don't. RIN shrugs and seemingly bored with our conversation. She turns on her heel and heads back towards the stands. So, are you excited about this? Not really. Me neither. Then why'd you come? Why did you? She doesn't reply at all, so I decide not to either. We enter the bleachers and RIN nods upwards. Up there. RIN leads the way, and soon we're settled down on an almost empty bench. I fucking forgot why did I think she wouldn't show up here? We're at the track meet. Why the fuck would I think she wouldn't be in this fucking room? I don't pay attention. There's an older woman sitting next to RIN. Someone's mother, I assume? She's got her rather long hair done up in a braid. Upon seeing RIN, she gives an oddly familiar-seeming grin. Oh, well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy. This is no good. The woman laughs at RIN and shakes her head, apparently unable to find a comeback for that. I know the feeling. Well, I suppose you've always been one out to go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I haven't introduced myself yet. I don't word very good. It's a theme in this game. Or at least with the jackass trying to read it. I'm Maiko Ibarazaki. I'm sure that if you know this girl, you've at least met my daughter too. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, more motherly Emmy. Apart from her hair being somewhat darker than her daughter's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Hisao. Hisao Nakai. Nice to meet you. Shit. I'm Rin Tezuka. Mrs. Rozaki laughs again. She really does resemble her offspring, and then leads back a little in her seat and raises an eyebrow. So, now that we all know each other, how long have you and Rin been dating? My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear, but just before I can begin to utter a hastily babbled explanation, Emmy's mother bursts into laughter again. You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumbled response. We're not, I don't... So this is a question. Has anyone ever been in that situation? Like that exact situation right there? Because I have one time in my life, because I'm lonely and sad other than like 2 times in my life. It was still pretty lonely and sad. Didn't end well. Either way, point is, it only ever happened to me once. But it happened exactly the same way. It's... God damn it. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. I'm a sadist. I'm sorry. Forgive an old woman her amusements. She chuckles again to herself. Ha. Old woman? It doesn't look that old to me. I suppose I can let it go. How kind of you. It's starting. I direct my attention to the track where they're preparing for their first sprint. Oh, hey, look, it's Miki. She's all chilling back there. What's up? Never see me again. How's that feel, bitch? I was supposed to be her saying that to me, not me say... That sounded rude when I say it to her, but okay, whatever. Point is, look, Emmy's a thing. I direct my attention to the track where they're preparing for their first sprint. It looks like the 400-meter dash. My eyes scan the runners before finding Emmy. She's smiling, with an almost cocky look on her face. She's got them crazy legs. The starter raises his pistol. There's a dead bird somewhere. Emmy explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. It's amazing. Even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes close to the inside, Emmy surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the first turn, a few of the other runners have caught up with her. When she puts on the final burst of speed that leaves them at least a half-second behind. Miss Ibarazaki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emmy bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. Woohoo! It's such! The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the results. Oh, yes, she did it with her face, yeah! Okay, she didn't do it with her face, she did it with her legs. I didn't think that through before I said it. Okay. As with 90% of everything that comes out of my voice. Face, mouth, fuck. I think she's gotten faster since last time. That was incredible. Miss Ibarazaki grins proudly. Emmy's a heck of a runner. We fall silent as the next event prepares to start. I'm surprised to see Emmy striding back out on the track again. Wait, didn't she just run? Emmy's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emmy can handle it. From the looks of things, she's right. She's right. Okay, Emmy doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. If not for the visible sweat on her shirt, you'd probably never know. Which event is this? It's the 200-meter dash. She'll do this one, the 100-meter, and the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emmy flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emmy's mother cheers again, and I assume the race is over. Sprints don't seem to me like they'd take very long to complete. Your foot. Huh? Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. I thought you said this wouldn't be exciting. I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emmy, not the sport. I don't follow. Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. You don't get to see Emmy at her Emmyest very often. That's still one of my favorite quotes in this game, is Emmy at her Emmyest. I do enjoy it a lot. But here, you can. See? Yeah, Shay. Okay, she directs my attention towards the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emmy closely. As she gets onto the starter blocks, her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter yells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward in what could be a grin and could be a growl. When the pistol moves off, it's as if she's been unleashed from a cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but we just couldn't see it happening until the starter's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returning to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast.
Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emmy's prowess all came from her father's side.
At the mention of Emmy's father, Miss Ibarozaki looks wistful, almost sad.
He got her into running, you know.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I leave it at that and don't say anything for a little while. I get the feeling this is something personal I shouldn't ask about. Yee. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Miss Ibarozaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it.
Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16? Oh, nothing. I've got to go meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell Emmy I am very proud of her and that I'll call her later tonight?
Of course. While waiting for the relay to start, I peer at RIN. She seems uninterested in her surroundings, myself included. The remark she made before is still stuck in my head. Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. It does make sense, now that I think about it. After seeing her run now, I can believe that Emmy gives her all on the track. Sports are more than a hobby or even a competition to her. They're a defining aspect of her life. What about RIN, then? Does she feel the same way about art? Considering the persistence she displayed before the festival, I could easily believe it. Did I not see RIN at her most RIN when she was painting the mural? RIN at her RINiest? The relay is about to begin, but I don't see Emmy anywhere. I thought Emmy ran the relay.
She runs anchor. So she won't be running for a while yet.
Ah, I see.
Did you see it?
Huh?
Emmy at her Emmys.
Maybe.
Maybe this time.
The race begins and I cheer Emmy's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emmy sprint onto the track and make the final handoff. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs. Really, it's kind of beautiful. The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her Emmyest, I suppose. Emmy flies across the finishing line with a great leap, just barely ahead of the next runners, but still in first.
Well, I should probably go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a Laurel
Blanche. Yeah, that's right, Shannon, you fucking idiot. That's not gonna be easy. RIN shrugs.
At least we tried.
Didn't try that hard. Emmy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. RIN seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. It doesn't seem to be her style to draw attention to herself or to emote beyond shrugging. Being more impatient than RIN, I wave to Emmy in her stead. She looks up and grins happily at us.
Hey, you showed up!
We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but... Oh, shit.
We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but, you know, Hisao couldn't find one.
Neither did you.
It wasn't my job to look.
When did we assign jobs?
When I said, see if you can find a laurel branch. Try to keep up.
I shrug. Guess RIN's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. Emmy laughs and at RIN and me.
It's okay. I'm sure you'll make it up to me somehow. By buying me a cake.
Sure.
Good. So how'd I look?
Very impressive. Emmy seemed pleased with this assessment. She didn't mention how much more impressive her performance is given... I didn't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figure she knows that already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow.
Great to hear. I was worried that I looked a little slow on the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh?
And then she giggles and then she seems to remember something.
Oh, before I forget, Ren and I are gonna do go do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it the day after, but since today is Sunday, I got homework, class, and all that stuff I should take care
of. Sure, I'd love to.
Great, it's a promise then. I'll be seeing you there, you silly goose.
Oh, right, your mom wanted to say she's proud of you. She'll call you later tonight.
I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it.
Hey, Yemi, you're gonna miss the medal ceremony, girl. You're gonna miss it. Why are you gonna do that? You can't be missing it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
She turns to Rin, and myself.
You don't have to stick around for this part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework now if you don't want to be up late, so...
Amy skips back to her teammates, leaving me and Rin by ourselves. Neither of us has the slightest interest in the post-competition ceremony, so we silently get away and back to the quad. Rin yawns without even trying to restrain herself and shuffles her feet around restlessly. I feel awkward, but less so than if I was with someone else. Still, I'm left hanging, not knowing what I should say next. Amy was pretty great, wasn't she?
She was great. I'm pretty jealous of her.
Why?
Like I said, don't you think it's great to really be yourself?
It sounds weird coming from Rin. I don't think you, of all people, should have trouble finding a way to express yourself. Don't you have your paintings? She turns to look at me. For the first time, I see in her eyes this strange, hollow expression that I think must be unique to her. No, you see, the problem is I'm not really sure who I am. Transitions all the time, man. Today's art club meeting is currently on hold while everyone waits for Namiya to show up. I take this time to explain my theory about Yamaku to Rin. I try to figure out what exactly about the school feels so special to me. That concept I unsuccessfully tried to explain to Yuko the other day. It's still difficult, but the track meet and the time I spent observing my fellow students have helped my ideas mature a little. Have you noticed that people talk all the time? I can't really explain it, but once again, as I try to explain my observation, I'm struggling for words. The student body is heavily clicked, and I'm only now beginning to make sense of the intricate grouping and popularity networks, and yet the feeling of being part of a group is stronger here than I remember it being at my old schools. I'm trying to say this school doesn't feel like others, or isn't like other schools. Or at least the students aren't, even after discounting the obvious. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, well, whatever then. I want to pursue the issue, but at that point, Namiya arrives.
Oh, goodness, I'm back. Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you again. I still cannot figure out exactly how his voice works. I think I got it back. Okay, we're good. I was a little too deep there for a second. It was too down here in the areas, and I needed to go up here and kind of to the left. It's really weird. It is like up and to the left. It's weird to describe, but you know how it is. No, you probably don't. You're not me.
The teacher is wiping sweat from his forehead with a handkerchief and breathing rather heavily. He quickly glances over to the room and then settles down a bit.
Hello, apologies for being late. Is everyone present? Good. I must confess I haven't really planned anything for today as I've been extremely busy lately, but I'm sure we can come up with something entertaining. How about, movie time? Watership Down, let's watch that. That's not depressing as shit. Anyone have any suggestions? I was thinking we could have a discussion circle since we haven't had one in a while. I, at least, found the last one magnificently enjoyable.
There are some murmurs here and there, but nobody raises their voice in support of or against Namiya.
We could delve into various movements of art, or does someone have a good topic in mind? Come on, throw it out there. It doesn't matter if it's silly or odd, you can always cook up something interesting. I've clicked the wrong button. Shannon, you damn fool.
Nobody seems to be brave enough to make such a suggestion. As the awkward silence refuses to be broken, I lift my hand in the air.
Oh, our newest friend seems to have something on his mind. Speak up, my boy, speak up.
Well, I don't know about anyone else here, but I've always wondered why art exists in the first place. My voice trails off, a silence set in the room, and nobody makes a follow-up on my meek suggestion. Then the teacher bursts out in laughter.
Excellent. Very good indeed. Right out of the gate with a big one, huh? Fabulous.
Chuckling, he shifts some papers around on his desk for a few moments. When he's done, he appears to have made a sort of decision.
Very well, then. Let us run with this and see where it gets us, shall we? Ha.
Can we... I forgot that he fucking does that. He just sticks his fucking tongue out like a creepy old man all the fucking time.
Oh my, even an old fogey like me gets excited with such delicious enthusiasm as present. Oh my, indeed. It's really creepy when I say delicious and have this face at the same time. Damn it, let me gather my thoughts a moment so I can figure out a good starting point for everyone.
For some reason, the teacher seems to be almost literally bursting with excitement. He scribbles a few things down on a loose sheet of paper and then cleans his glasses with a handkerchief. He strikes a pose, then freezes for an overtly dramatic, artistic pause that spans what must be like half a minute. Nami is an interesting guy. Like, I like that kind of teacher a lot. Like I like someone who goes out and like wants to have fun and gets wild with it. It's one of the reasons I do really like Namiya. We'll say that. I won't go into more than that. It's so quiet I could hear a pin drop.
First, let's come up with a few questions that we want answered. Such as, what is art, and why does art exist? Anyone have any questions that might be related?
The boy with sunglasses pipes up almost immediately. His voice is soft and quiet, and I have a hard time making out what he says.
What defines an artist?
After him, another question pops up. If I fill a cardboard box with water and call it art, is it still art? Everyone laughs at that, even the teacher.
Great, wonderful, all of these. Let me start by saying that this is not a clear-cut issue by any means, and as such I'm not going to give any answers to you. I'm only going to speak from my own perspective. Scholars have argued about these sorts of questions since time immemorial, and there has never really been a broadly acceptable consensus reached. What? There are however, I can word some qualities that the most tend to generally agree upon. Hopefully you should find these acceptable as well. In short, art defines itself. It simply cannot be contained to a definition from the outside, since the boundaries of art expand and contract from forces within. Every day, someone somewhere comes up with something completely outrageous that challenges any and all preconceptions. The core reason for this is rather than the emotional side of art appeals to the intuition, the instinct, the primal. You would find it very hard to explain why exactly it is you enjoy some particular style or piece, no.
He doesn't wait for his response before continuing.
This is exactly why. So, art is sort of wild, uncontrollable thing that lurks somewhere deep in our subconscious. Now, why does it exist?
Nomiya apparently expects someone to pipe in with a guess, but no one dares to interrupt his inspired speech. He continues.
It is a trick question. You see, art also validates itself. Generally speaking, you might say that art exists for no purpose than itself. It's something that exists merely to leave a mark in history. It's the defiance of a mortal against the face of darkness, as was once said. Art is truly the proof of our existence. You all should know that human culture and civilization are tightly tied to the existence of art. Then, what about the artists? What drives a man to dedicate his life to a thing so fickle and mysterious that it even defies definition? There are many answers for this, and there are artists. But if I had to put it into words, an artist doesn't make art because he can, but because he must.
Nomiya takes a pause. His gaze sweeps over his audience, eyes flaring with passion.
This voice kind of hurts to do. It is obvious that art touches the very soul of each and every human being in one way or another. So if you were given a chance to connect with your fellow man in such a fundamental way, how could you not? There is a poem I'm very much fond of, and I shall recite the most well-known part of it to you now. I feel that for me personally, it's of all things, it captures the best of the essence of what it means to be an artist.
Nomiya leans back in his desk as he clears his throat in preparation. Looking at some distant pace, he utters the words in a heavy afternoon air with a soft basso voice.
To see a world in grain of sand, or in a granch fuck, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour.
There was a solemn, unbelievably awkward silence as he finishes reciting the short fragment. Nobody dares speak a word. Namiya clears his throat again.
To be an artist is to see the world in a grain of sand. You see, dear children, without art, there would not be much to live for in this world. It is a most profound thing.
He is clearly touched by this notion. I almost expect to see a lone tear rolling down his cheek, but it never comes. I turn to Rin and whisper to her. So how is this a discussion circle? She shrugs nonchalantly back at me.
The previous ones were the same.
To his credit, Namiya does try to keep some debate going, but the art club seems reluctant to comply. I feel a bit guilty about opening my mouth. Maybe we should have been spared from this. As the meeting comes to a close, I realize we haven't once touched any paint or pens today, and I feel somewhat disappointed. Namiya suddenly... oh, that fucking voice. Suddenly appears next to us. He seems to be still fired up from the speech he delivered. His cologne smells musky and saccharine at the same time, giving me an instant headache, even though I'm not sensitive to perfumes. He is looking at Ren like a hungry wolf. Please don't do the tongue thing. That's just even worse. 'Cause I'm hungry like the... Okay.
Tezuka, do you remember Miss
Oh, God. Sionji. Fuck. I think it's Sionji. Whatever. That's what it is now.
who visited us at the festival? Yeah, that's words.
I think so.
I'm going to tell you something amazing. The thing is, she's a very well-known gallerist around here. It turns out I might be able to get her to consider having some of your work put on display.
He ends the sentence with a dramatic gesture. Jester? What the fuck? It seems he's expecting Rin to show some sort of joyous, shocked reaction at such grand news, but she just stares at him blankly.
Magnificent, isn't it? This could be a real chance for us to get ahead, girl.
But...
Now, I know what you're about to say. Yes, it wouldn't be a simple affair, but I think this is an absolutely fantastic opportunity. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we even made it big. This could be the first step, and then, when the word is out, we strike while the iron is hot. Right, Nakai?
Fuck. Talk less, man. Yeah, it does sound pretty great if you're into that kind of thing.
See, we should definitely not let this one pass, am I right?
I don't really... Rin seems to be troubled for some reason. I can't figure out why. What Namiya is saying does indeed sound like a possibly great thing. She looks pretty down, though, and confused. I've never really seen her like this.
So, what do you think?
Rin looks up to her teacher's glowing face, and then back down at her desk. I'll think about it. Noemiya is at least taken slightly aback by Rin's lack of superlative delight, and then he just smiles widely at her and gently pats her on the head.
Good girl.
The art club meeting is finally over, and I lazily collect my things and help clean up. I start feeling exhausted for some reason. There isn't much to do, however, so it's over pretty quickly. I catch up to Rin, who left the club room just a moment earlier, so we're walking down the stairs to the ground floor while I try to go over Nomiya's passionate speech about art, and Rin seems to be lost in thought. Not an unusual state for her, I've learned, but something about her expression makes me feel a little uneasy. Penny for your thoughts?
That'd be too cheap.
You're just overpricing your thoughts.
I wouldn't be able to sell them anyway. I'm not sure what I'm thinking yet. That'd be a fraud, too, like stealing candy from a baby.
That's theft, not fraud.
I have to think about what I think.
Is this about what the teacher said? Getting your work put on display and all that? She doesn't answer, but stops in her tracks as we reach the lobby. We're the only people around, so it's very quiet. Footsteps echo from a few floors up as someone hurries along in the hallway.
I think I'm gonna go somewhere elsewhere.
I think she really is troubled. Want company? I can't promise much help with the thinking, but it's not like I have much else to do, and I'm supposed to do some light exercise. If you like. Either gotta get out a knife, or I gotta like sit here for like at least a good minute and a half trying to get the thing like started, and then I can peel it, and then I'm like, well, there's still a shit ton of stuff on here, and maybe like give it a little rub or two sexually or otherwise, and I'm like going get in there, and then be like, well, I'd probably cut the thing. There's no point in just eating it like a ham sandwich. Maybe a ham sandwich was not the right example, more like an apple. I didn't think that through before I said it. Okay. As with 90% of everything that comes out of my voice. Face, mouth, fuck.